Okay, today we're going to do annual work order. Whenever you do create a work order without a notification, you put in IW31, create order. Of course, this is my own description. It probably has another description, but it's IW, let's see what it is again, IW31. So you click on that, and now this defaults in what order type. This is important. What we want order type is PM01. So just to let you know, PM01 is for annual work orders and also planned work orders. So annual and planned work orders should be PM01, and it'll create a 400 work order, where PM02s are usually 300 work orders, or they are 300 work orders. So we want a PM01. My planning plan is in here at 1328, and then you can just go ahead and enter. So once you enter, it gets you the same form as you do with any work order, but it's a PM01. And what I'm going to do now is I'll show you that the PM01 I have here, these are mine. I always start out with service item for my annuals, just because when you finally we get into creating these annual work orders or PM work orders through a maintenance plan, the item is called the order. So an order is an item. The operation of the order is a task list. And then you have to run the whole thing is a plan. So it'll be service plan, service item, and task, maintenance task. Okay, so anyway, we look at this one. You see they're all 400 work orders. So if you double click on this, you can see, I'm going to use this one example. So you see all these this is all filled out for you. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it out just so I don't have to type it in there. So we go Control C, Control V, and then we go to the next one. We go Control C and go here to Control V. And of course, first thing you need to do is type in PMIN, it's internal operation. And then of course, the dates, today's date. I just go ahead and I'm just putting a date in. You can put whatever the start date is you want, and the finish date. And then the equipment, I use a functional location because this is for an area. If you see it says service item for crusher area. So like things that are around that area that you want to combine them all, you can use that area, and then whatever functional location you put in there it's going to look at that for the cost center. So if I do the functional location on this one, which I can copy it off of here, so we keep it the same. You see it's crusher, primary crusher. So Control C, highlight it, and then go Control V. And then it is a planned maintenance. So the priority is planned. This is another critical thing. You want to put annual work order. If you do a pull down, if you look at 099 right here, you'll see that's annual. So if I go enter, you can see it comes up annual work order. That way you can search for them under this PM activity type. And then of course you select plan. Okay, so now that's all that's in there. Another thing you might want to do, because usually on these general work order plans, yearly plans, you might want to use multiple cost centers. So I'm going to go over real quick. When you go to settlement rule, you say yes, I want the settlement. It says with default. So what it's going to do, it's going to default the cost center that is on this functional location. So I say yes with default. So now you can see that these cost centers have been put in. So if you go now, let's say that's 100% going to this one cost center. Now, if you wanted only 50% going to one cost center and 50 going to the other, you can put as many cost centers as you want, but it all has to equal 100%. So what you do is you go Control Y, you can copy this same layout. Okay, Let's try it again, Control Y, copy the same layout, go Control C, Control V. So of course, let's put the numbering system correct. So it'll be 3 and 4. And if you change this, just make a different cost center. I'm going to put 8 because I know what cost center it is. Now if I go enter, it's going to accept it. But if I try to back out, and to go back, because when you get done, you back out. When you see 100 and 100, that's 200% because it looks at full and partial. So the full both fulls have to equal 100 or 100%. So really I need to put 50-50, 50-50. But just to show you what happens if you back out, it's going to say, hey, look, it's 200%. So you can't do that. You go back to new entry and you have to change this. So if we change these to 50%, and go enter. Now when we back out, it will accept it because now it's going to show it's 100%. So, and then once that's done, when I save this, it's going to make a PM04 or a 400 work order, a PM01 with a 400 work order. So if you back out, you can see all my work orders. They're all 400s. I can show you some that I think had in here my lubrication, I think. Let's see, lubrication. Like I have a whole bunch of cost centers on my lubrication. If I go to cost center or settlement rule, you see all these cost centers. I got 25, 25, 25, 15, 10, but I have to do the same thing on the full. The numbering I got messed up. I don't know. Somehow it's didn't do 1, 2, 3. But anyway, that really isn't critical. But these percentages are critical. So anyway, that's about it. So when you get done, of course, you save it, but I'm not going to save it. I'm going to back out, but always start out with like service item 4, and then whatever. Now, if you want to do a piece of equipment, because if you look, I do have some with pieces of equipment. So we go back out, and you look at here, you see conveyor, the impactors. So these are my crushers. So some of the things I have on my crushers that are annual is replace hammers for Stubmans. They keep a record of when they replace them, or you can make individual work orders. It depends on if you want an annual or not. I don't, because we have to change them constantly a lot. And then order steel, like during the year, if I need to order steel for those hammers, I'll put it on this work order and it'll hit this piece of equipment, or this piece of equipment. Anyway, that's it. So once you get done, you save it. And I'm not going to save it. I'm going to back out without saving. No. And that's it. So stopping.